Because you have to clean the bed.
The couples in this series have 3 months to tie the knot or face one of them leaving the country. Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 most awkward moments from 90 Day Fiancé.
Like, I'm a student, but my parents are worried about inheritance because my family without question has more money than his.
For this list, we'll be looking at the moments on the American documentary series and its spin-offs that were painfully awkward to watch. With the more socially faux pas, weird and uncomfortable, the better.
You know, just try to be like Moroccan people just for 1 month.
I'm not Moroccan.
I know, but try to, because...
Why do you want me to be Moroccan?
Hey guys, it's Kristina here, and I thought I would film another reaction video for you guys. This time, it is going to be a 90 Day Fiancé most awkward moments. I'm excited to watch this. I'm really interested to see where this leads, and yeah. Also, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you know every time I post a new video down below. And also comment any videos you want me to film. I will film them for you. And make sure to follow me on all my social medias and give this video a big thumbs up if you like and want more videos like this. Let's just get right into it.
Number 10. Meeting the in-laws.
Excited.
She exists.
I'm real, so finally I'm here.
Finally,
it's nice to meet you.
Meeting the in-laws for the first time is always an awkward experience, but this moment would take one of the top prizes. Kicking off the dinner with a casual joke about how they'd warned their son not to run off, fall in love with some girl and bring her home. Whoops. Russ's parents immediately set the scene for some uncomfortable tension.
The joke was when he first left was, you know, don't go down there and fall in love and, you know, bring a girl back home. And sure enough, he does.
Paola's discomfort with the whole situation, from her tight smile and unwillingness to really make conversation to Russ watching her like a hawk at her side, is very clear. This is one family dinner they probably wouldn't want to repeat.
They're really nice. I just want to say they're really nice, but I want my own space.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, I've met so many of like my aunts and uncles and my older cousins when they bring in, you know, their significant others. It's always awkward because you just don't know them and you're like in a room filled with people that know each other. So I guess I can understand the awkwardness of it all. But yeah, she made that joke and it came true. So I don't know. I don't know what happened with them, so can't really say if it worked out or not. But she's right to say, like, you know, as much as, you know, you have all of this like going on, all these factors going on, space is a good thing because it allows the person to process what's going on rather than force them into thinking it's okay to go about, you know, not having any space to process meeting your in-laws.
Number 9. Narkia gets catfished.
I don't want to date a guy in this area because the guys in this area are on.
In the world of cyber love affairs, it pays to be cautious of anyone who seems too good to be true, especially if they pull the tried and true Nigerian prince tagline.
He also told me he was living in Alabama. He had a son, and that his son's mother had passed away.
Okay, I just have to say, is this catfish or 90 Day Fiancé? Like, I'm so confused, and the Nigerian prince line is always so funny to me because it's like a joke that also YouTubers like make, like when it comes to catfish and just the skits and stuff. I've heard it so many times. That's so funny to me that, yeah, that's actually really funny.
After this couple met in an online group for plus-sized women, Narkia finds another social media profile of her fiancé's that he hadn't told her about, and it gets her spidey senses tingling. She then finds photos of Alulowo's son with another woman that he had told her had passed away. At the end of the day, Narkia is left with no choice but to come to the conclusion that she's been catfished. Oops.
And I'm just over here stressed and not knowing what's going on.
You know I'm not gonna do nothing. You trust me?
Okay, so she video chatted with him, so it's a real thing. Like, he's real. So I'm guessing the whole, like, his story is what's the catfish part. But yeah, I mean, isn't that the amount of searches that she does to, like, after finding that profile, she could have easily searched about Nigerian princes, I don't know. I think it's, you know, we live in a day and age where everything is on the internet, so she could have easily verified that. I don't know. I guess people are blinded. I don't live like that, so.
Number 8. Chantel versus the future mother-in-law.
He shares a little too much with his family, and he should keep our private business private.
Here's another run-in with the in-laws. The news that Chantel's parents wanted her to sign a prenup with Pedro was awkward enough, but his mother's reaction to the news was even more cringeworthy.
Estúpido, porque tú tienes mucho valor, demasiado valor. Ella es afortunada.
I mean, I understand prenups. It's the thing that a lot of people are doing now. And for this show, I think they should, like everyone should, because I am aware that there are people overseas that have more money than those in America. Like some of those couples do exist. So I just believe that you should do that just for, you know, for your safety and your security. But yeah, I can see why she said don't tell your mom certain things, because I know like that's just a relationship between two people, even though you're putting it on TV. Like people overseas watch this, people all around the world watch this. So technically it's like on the one hand you understand not sharing too much with your, you know, your in-laws and stuff and keeping it between you and that person, but then you're also on TV. It's going to come out anyways. You might as well be the one to say it, in just my viewpoint.
Speaking lightning fast Spanish and going off about the stupid Americans with Chantel right there listening. Pedro's mother makes her feelings about the situation with Chantel's parents well known, with little regard for her future daughter-in-law's feelings. Watching Chantel sit quietly and listen when it was obvious she was upset was difficult, especially as she never actually comes back with a reply until the FaceTime call is over.
I don't need that in my life, and if I'm gonna be calling her my mother-in-law, she's gonna have to calm down.
She's gonna have to calm down. I mean, she's not wrong for, you know, standing her ground, being like, listen, this is between me and him. Like, your opinion doesn't really, you know, it wasn't really asked for by me, like that sort of thing. And you need to like take a step back and think things through before you say it, which should be like everyone's life lesson, in my opinion.
Number 7. Do you really love him?
Seriously, you're gonna tell me that this isn't a big problem?
Red flag anybody? When questioned about her feelings for her fiancé Matt, Ala is brutally honest in saying she's not really sure if she loves him yet, but is still completely okay with marrying him.
And you don't love him?
I don't know.
But you're getting married anyway.
Obviously blown away, and one of the more rational people in the room, Matt's friend tries to coax some reasoning out of the Ukrainian bride-to-be to no avail. With Matt himself and another female friend sitting in silence, this awkward interrogation made for a pretty significant hiccup in the future of Matt and Ala's relationship.
I've got to know that you're here for him in order for me to...
What else could she possibly say? She's said this 5 times already.
But you're getting hoodwinked. It's...
I mean, his friend is not wrong. Like, why would you still marry someone after, you know, you don't even love them? You don't even know you're still gonna marry them? Like, you're putting yourself in a position where you're hurting someone and potentially hurting someone if you end up, like, you know, not caring for them. And I think they mentioned that it didn't work, like, there was conflict because of what happened here. His friend is not wrong. His friend is the voice of reason, so.
Number 6. Nikki's airport arrival.
Oh God, it's this guy again.
This is the happiest day of my life. I mean, I'm crying, but it's the happiest day of my life.
With an age difference that was already making audiences cringe, 19 versus 58, the way Mark behaved once he picked Nikki up from the airport was weird from the start. When she placed her hand on the window of his car and apparently left fingerprints. Mark wasted no time in telling her it wasn't allowed.
That's not allowed. No, that was one of the rules when my children were...
Really?
They never touch the window, because it's...
So I'm not allowed to touch the window?
You don't touch the window.
To make matters even creepier, he tells her that it was one of the rules when his children were young, that they couldn't touch the windows, reprimanding her for messing with his happiness. The last time we checked, he was her fiancé, not her father.
You're weird.
I know.
You're always weird.
I'm always weird.
Okay, first off, I thought she was my age and that he was like maybe 50 something. I mean, it's like, I thought he was like 50. She is my little brother's age and he is my dad's age. That is gross. That's gross. I'm sorry, but that's just, it's not like she's like 25, 30 and you know, and he's like, they still have the same age gap. She's still a kid, so this is like way weird. And the fact that he's trying to tell her things, like trying to treat her as if he's like her dad instead of her fiance, it's a bit sketch. Just a little bit sketch.
Number 5, George's money confession.
So you're basically saying that you're just dating me because I can buy you things?
Yes.
What's worse, marrying someone only for money or telling someone you're a millionaire to get them to marry you? Either way, when the truth finally surfaced in this ugly situation, it wasn't received well. A couple that had their issues long before they said I do, George finally dropped the news on his wife that not only was he not a millionaire, but he also was in debt. Needless to say, the notoriously hot-tempered Anfisa wasn't happy.
Why do you bring your fiancé from abroad and getting married when you're in debt, when you don't have your together?
Dragging him over the coals for lying to her about being able to fund her expensive tastes. This was a situation that dropped jaws the moment it aired.
Business doesn't go well. What do you want me to do?
Business never went well. You just lied to me when I was in Russia.
Know?
You were lying to me.
How do you know?
Don't interrupt me.
Oh, honestly, out of like all the 98 couples, they were always so entertaining and so like, you know, I can tell because I remember seeing like, I never used to watch like religiously. I watched like one episode, Confused as Hell. But I do remember like watching a lot of these videos online where it was like commentators just like talking about them. And I just remember watching some of the clips and they are so funny. Like, I know they're not together, but they are so funny for TV. I can tell right now. But I do agree. He should have been honest because then like she would have been, you know, because it seems like she was honest from like, you know, telling him, I'm marrying you for your money. Like, she was honest about it. It always rubs me the wrong way when people do that, but like, she was honest. That's like the one thing that you can't take away from her, is that she was really honest in the fact that she wanted to marry him for his money. He should have been honest about not having said money so that they weren't, you know, stringing each other along.
Number 4, Aziza and Mike's bedroom roadblock.
But 90 days is flying by, and our sex life is still at a standstill.
Oh, I remember seeing this.
This was the elephant in the room. With this conversation happening over the folding of laundry, and Aziza doing everything she could to avoid eye contact, had audiences cringing in their seats.
I think we need to wait with sex.
I remember seeing this.
We were supposed to do it as soon as you got here.
Yeah.
After saying she wanted to wait a little longer before she and Mike consummated their relationship, Aziza's reluctance to pursue the subject and Mike's persistence put everyone on edge. Then there was a creepy half-smile he kept on his face the whole time, as well as his enthusiasm about one day having kids. Perhaps Mike needs to be reminded of the virtue of patience.
Aziza may be a little more uptight than some American women. I think that, you know, she's just still worried about our sexual relationship. I hope she becomes a lot more comfortable.
She doesn't want to have relations with you. It's clear as day. You know, she's stating exactly from the get-go where she's at. If you read anything other than what she's saying, then I don't know what to tell you. Guys always have this inkling that girls say one thing and they mean the total opposite. No, girls are blunt as hell. Like, we'll say it like it is, especially nowadays where you can just say, you know, how you feel. Back then, of course, they would reprimand you or whatever. But now women have voices. We say things bluntly. If you want to take it another way, don't get upset when we're telling you exactly what we already said. But yeah, she's okay. Patience is virtue. Have patience. If you want it to work out, have patience. Not just in an intimate way, but like in general.
Number 3, Azan.
Oh, this couple again.
Tells Nicole to work out.
I noticed a lot of these couples are the same ones from before. I didn't know that they would be in this video. Maybe they're just more entertaining and they get most of the traction.
You're gonna miss the dessert?
No. Azan made his feelings about Nicole's body known from the day she landed. However, the way he went about trying to persuade her to get in a bit better shape was not exactly the greatest idea. As she struggled up a sand dune in the middle of the desert, he urged her on by telling her how lazy she was and how she needed to work out more.
I'm sorry, but that is not the way to get someone to change their body type or their lifestyle and get healthy. Okay? First off, there are so many factors that can play into why she has the physique that she does. There's not just unhealthy lifestyle. There are health problems internally that she can't control probably, and that could be the reason. You don't know, I don't know, and until she gets the test, like different tests, to figure it out. Because for me, I know that my body was not changing for a while, and I got really upset and really discouraged, and I've had people in my life discourage me in other ways. I'm not going to say it on the internet. I'm not going to say who either, but I understand how she probably was feeling in this moment, because that's not the way to help someone get healthy, change their body, change their lifestyle, change their mentality. It just brings them to the point where they're like, I am those things. I am what you're saying. And honestly, I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, you don't even believe that I can change. That is the way that you're thinking when people say things like that. So that's why, like, for me personally, I don't talk about people's body like that unless they have like some sort of like ill will, you know what I'm saying? But I try not to, because you don't know what's going on. I've lived the don't know what's going on part of that. And so he's probably my least favorite, besides the creepy guy with the 19-year-old.
Okay, 1 second. He followed this up by telling the cameras that he didn't think she was healthy, which isn't something your partner should be telling you, at least not so bluntly. Encouraging your fiancé to pursue health is one thing, but straight up telling them they're lazy is beyond rude.
Almost there, lazy. Oh my gosh, lazy.
He calls her lazy, like, but instead of saying her name, he's like, come on, lazy, you're lazy. Like, again, we understand the idea of preaching, and preaching means like you believe what you preach, manifesting and all that stuff on the internet. If you say that a person's lazy, they're going to be lazy. My parents have preached that to me my whole life. My dad is like the #1 person that's like, oh, if you keep calling yourself clumsy, you're gonna be clumsy. Like, stating a fact and preaching are two different things, and you can change certain things about yourself, not just when you say things, but also by allowing someone to get over the hurdles. Allow them to get through the first part. You put her into the lion's den by making her climb up a sand, like, whatever they call, like, in the desert. You put her to walk in the desert. Someone who is not probably I'm not sure about her health, you know, take this with a grain of salt, but I'm pretty sure she's never run, because she's already like having to slow down. But it's probably so hot there, she's not used to it. You're putting her in danger.
Number 2, Mohammed doesn't hold back.
I was expecting like way much better than I found out when I came here.
This was one couple that had a pretty significant history of issues. In the season 1 finale of the spin-off 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, Mohammed and Danielle were questioned on their troubles between the sheets during the couple's tell-all segment.
Screaming in front of her teenagers, I want my sex tonight.
Wait, okay, so this is where that crazy clip was, like, where he was screaming. Now it makes sense. I thought he was the one who's like was saying that, but she was the one who was screaming that to him in front of her kids. That is not the way to go. Sweetie, that is not the way to go.
If you don't give me my sex tonight, I will call the immigration. I will get you deported.
The interview went from casual to cringy in a heartbeat, with Mohammed opening up about the issues Danielle had and some of her wilder past behavior. Between name-calling, accusation, and the stunned looks on the faces of all the other couples present, this interview was shocking in more ways than one.
Thank you very much for...
If you asking me, like, why I'm not having sex with her, then you put it out there. I have to explain it.
You know, all right.
Isn't wrong. He should be able to have a chance to explain. I do remember she is the very difficult one. I do remember he asked for a green card, but like she was making him work for that green card. You know what I'm saying? Ain't wrong, but like she was making him work for it.
Number 1, the awkward silence.
Did you regret etching the word idiot into the car? Why not?
Do the Emmys have a category for most awkward moment? During yet another revealing tell-all episode, the infamous Anfisa was questioned about some of her wilder antics. When asked if she felt any remorse for keying the word idiot into the side of George's car, Anfisa proceeded to kickstart the longest awkward pause in the history of recorded TV. Complete with everything but the crickets in the background, the studio went silent for what felt like hours before she finally attempted to defend herself, storming out shortly afterwards. Audiences could practically feel the awkward.
Ooh, that does look really awkward. And then the couples are just sitting there like, you don't answer. We gonna be here all night. Wow, she was crazy on the show. Holy smokes. She keyed his car. I only hear about that in TVs and movies, but she did that. She keyed his car. Okay, so that is it for this video. If you guys liked it, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you know every time I post a new video. And also make sure to follow me on all my social medias. They probably popped up during this video, as well as down below. And the link to this video, of course, any video that I do react to, I will leave down below for you. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!